Good morning, everybody. It is about 7:48 in the morning. I woke up about an hour and a half ago, about that anyway, because I've been sleeping really good this past couple of nights. Well, I kind of take a nap every now and then. But anyway, I'm here to talk about some, as you can see, wrestling news, or as I like to call it, my own version of talk wrestling. My own version of talk wrestling news, that is, as you can see up there. And what I want to talk about, first of all, as you've seen with many of my videos and a lot of other people's videos, one of the things people talk about mostly now is the whole thing with Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson. See, no one really knows who was behind Bryan Danielson being fired. Everybody assumes it's somebody or someone or some company with a lot of power that made the call to say, hey, get rid of Daniel Bryan for what he did to Justin Roberts. Big freaking deal. You know what the guys at ADTV said? You know what CJ at ADTV said? He said if that was the case, why were they still showing the replays on Telemundo, Mun 2, whatever that thing is, Universal HD? Why were they still showing it? Huh? Why were they still showing the replay of what happened? Of that Raw, that 3-0 Raw, and what happened? Why were they still showing the replay? Well, I'll tell you this. The only people that edited out what happened last week on Raw with the invasion and Daniel Bryan choking out Justin Roberts and spitting on John Cena. The only people that edited it out were the people internationally, the people overseas. Now, I don't know if Sky Sports edited it out or anything. They probably did, but I don't know. But anyway, all the other international broadcasts, from what we understand, basically edited out the choking of Justin Roberts and spitting on John Cena. Now, according to someone that works for, I believe, the Baltimore Sun, or whatever, Baltimore Examiner, or somebody mentioned this. He said, basically, that it seems that certain people associated with WWE are very careful about what WWE broadcasts or airs. Now, this person, I can't think of where I found this article, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you read it already. This person's article said that this is almost similar to what happened to Muhammad Hassan. Now, everybody pretty much justifies what happened to Muhammad Hassan, but then some don't. Looking back at it, you think, well, okay, maybe it was a little extreme, but you got to remember at the time, you got to remember when Muhammad Hassan was around, this was still at a time when we were still in the TV-14 area and still kind of like in the weary years of the Attitude Era, if you know what I mean. But here was the problem, though. The whole Muhammad Hassan incident back in 2005 occurred basically 24 hours before the whole thing with the London bombings. That's what happened. Now, according to the person that reported this, that put this into his article, he said that UPN at the time, who was broadcasting SmackDown, didn't have enough time to edit out what was happening, or didn't get word about, well, basically, according to what he said, they didn't have time to edit out what had happened, or had they known what was going to happen in London, they would have edited out what Muhammad did. Well, you get the idea. Okay, let me put it more clearly. Basically what this person said in his article when it comes to the whole Daniel Bryan thing about Muhammad Hassan, he said had UPN known about what was going to happen in London, or something similar to that fact, they would have edited out what happened on that Thursday edition of SmackDown. And remember, this was still at the time SmackDown was on Thursday nights. So had they known, they would have edited it out. However, between the taping on a Tuesday, the editing and re-editing on a Wednesday, they didn't really have enough time to do it. So they had to show it in its full integrity, or it's not integrity, but had to show it fully uncut on UPN. And UPN, because of this, told WWE, we do not want this guy on our program. Not on the program, but they're saying, basically, we don't want this guy on our network. Either you get rid of him, or you do something else with him. Because here was the deal. According to the reports from this article I read, Muhammad Hassan was originally supposed to win the not the WWE, but was originally supposed to win the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam that year. He was supposed to beat The Undertaker at the Great American Bash, and he was supposed to win the World Heavyweight Championship. In other words, his move to SmackDown in 2005 was to get him that big push that that the WWE had been aiming to give him since he debuted at the beginning of 2005. However, because of what happened with his whole angle and everything, and the fact that, according to this report, UPN and WWE didn't have enough time to really edit out that part, because remember, like I said at the time, they didn't have the time frame of 2 days. You know what I'm saying? They only had the time frame of 1 day. Okay? And it really didn't give them enough time to do it. So, and because remember, this was also at a time when the bomb, I mean, you get what I'm saying. They didn't really have enough time to edit out the situation. So basically what happened because of that, Muhammad Hassan got dropped off television, and he was released after his whole situation with The Undertaker and such. Now, how does this relate to Daniel Bryan, you might ask? Well, the way it relates to Daniel Bryan is real simple. But whoever made the call did the same thing similar to what UPN did. When UPN said, hey, we don't want Muhammad Hassan on our network anymore because of what you guys broadcast, despite the fact that they had no idea the London bombings were going to happen when this occurred, despite the fact that Muhammad Hassan was in for a big push, UPN didn't want to showcase him. Now, yes, probably the best logical thing was to probably put him on USA Network, but still, that did not happen. Or not USA Network, but Spike TV, but still that did not happen, and what happened instead was Muhammad Hassan being released. Now, again, how this relates to Daniel Bryan is real simple. Whoever made the call to get Daniel Bryan released because of the situation with Justin Roberts and John Cena, basically said, hey, look, we don't want this guy on WWE programming. I mean, at all. Now, some say, now according to ADTV, well, not ADTV, but, well, I think it's ADTV, or somebody said it. According to ADTV, or even J-Dub is the one that said it. J-Dub basically, I believe this is true. Now, I'll talk about that in a minute. Let me check my time here. Okay, I got about a minute or two. But basically, because I got that 10, 11 minute deal. But basically, J-Dub said that he's sick and tired of hearing the fact that it could have been Mattel that got Daniel Bryan fired, but that he feels it could have been somebody from what he read, because he had done some researching of his own, that it could have been somebody from Linda McMahon's campaign. Now, Richard Gray, who works for the Wrestling News World at Raja.com, I read his article, and somebody asked him a question if it was Linda McMahon's campaign, someone within there, if you will, that got Daniel Bryan fired, or if it was Mattel. Now, Richard couldn't really give a definitive answer, but from an anonymous note that he and everybody else got, There was an anonymous note. Nobody knows if this is true or not. But it sounds like from the note that they got that it was somebody within Linda McMahon's campaign that got Daniel Bryan fired. So there's something right there. I mean, one side saying it was Mattel. One side is saying it's somebody within Linda McMahon's campaign. I mean, come on. Doesn't anybody get it? It's storyline. I don't know. But those are just the rumors. But I'm not just here to talk about the whole Daniel Bryan deal and how, it relates to other things the WWE's done in the past. I'm also here to talk about TNA and a situation that TNA is about to do. And I'll be back with that in a little bit.